Former Blizzard, SOE and Relic devs form a new free-to-play studio. Alma returns in Aeria Games' F.E.A.R. Online. Gameforge shuts down RaiderZ. Mechwarrior Online honors a young pilot's passing. Marvel Heroes is adding some new endgame, and more on this week's episode of Free-to-Play Weekly. A new development studio has risen, comprised of former Blizzard, SOE, and Relic developers. Based in San Diego, Molten Games hopes to produce a forward-thinking free-to-play MMO funded by a multi-million-dollar investment from NCSoft. NCSoft appears to be taking a hands-off approach when it comes to the developer-publisher relationship. Free from publisher restrictions and with pockets full of cash, the Molten Games team is confident in their ability to create an unparalleled experience which puts gameplay first and foremost. In a recent statement, Zhang Han, CEO of Molten Games, noted that they created Molten Games in order to truly have control over game development and IP. "We're going to create something epic," said Han. "Our team understands not only the creation of online games, but the ongoing management of them better than anyone else in the industry. As we continue to build our team and work on our initial product, gameplay and player experience is going to come first with every decision." While still unannounced, it has been confirmed Molten Games' first title will be a AAA MMORPG. More information is said to be released at a later date. A new installment of the famous horror FPS franchise F.E.A.R. has been announced, and this time it's free to play. The multiplayer-focused F.E.A.R. Online takes place in a new chapter of the saga and continues to further the story of the supernatural Alma Wade. Surprisingly, the game will feature 4-player cooperative scenarios where players take on the role of the F.E.A.R. team parallel to the events in F.E.A.R. 2. Unsurprisingly, the FPS will mainly focus on team combat modes across 10 maps, although modes like Soul King, where players possess enemies for abilities, aim to spice things up. Several developers have had a hand in crafting some of the various F.E.A.R. titles over the years, with a main trilogy developed by Monolith Productions and Day One Studios. This time, F.E.A.R. Online is being developed by Korea-based In-Play Interactive and published by Aeria Games. F.E.A.R. Online is set to begin closed beta testing soon, with signups available on the official site now. Back in May, the Mechwarrior Online community learned one of their youngest players had passed away from inoperable brain cancer. Rallying together, the community urged Mechwarrior's developers, Piranha Games, to consider making a mech in her honor while donating all the proceeds to cancer research. Last week, Piranha made good on that promise and unveiled Sarah's Jenner, named in the little girl's honor. The Jenner comes complete with medium lasers and streak SRMs, which happen to be Sarah's favorite mech. The mech comes with a 10% XP boost, a custom skin, and costs $10. Just as the community requested, Piranha will be delivering all the proceeds of the sale to the Canadian Cancer Society, with donations already exceeding $60,000. The mech will only be available till August 20th and cannot be sold or gifted. For more information on Sarah's Jenner, be sure to check out the full article on MMOBomb. Gameforge has decided to shut down the EU version of the action MMO RaiderZ. The news came via an official post on the RaiderZ Europe site, which stated the game would officially close on August 30th. Speaking to the fans, the RaiderZ team offered up the following explanation. "This decision was not taken lightly, and all potential alternatives were looked at extensively. But as the game did not attain the level of success that we had anticipated, we are left with no other choice but to take this step." For those looking to continue playing the MMO, a small FAQ on the official RaiderZ forum urges players to switch to another RaiderZ publisher. That publisher is, of course, Perfect World Entertainment, who handles publishing the MMO for North American regions. For now, PWE continues to support the MMO, but the shutdown really begs the question, will this be the same fate for the NA version as well? What do you think? Having only recently released the 4.0 Dark Betrayal update, which added 2 brand new classes and an abundance of endgame content, Ion is now poised to go high-tech with the new EtherTech class. While other classes in Ion are undeniably more fantasy-based, the EtherTech boasts a surprising amount of sci-fi influence. The official description describes the EtherTech as capable of unleashing both short and long-distance attacks, making it an ideal class to add to any raid, PvP, or boss battle deep in the world of Aeria. By pulsing ether through these armored suits, the EtherTech can form Gatling guns, railguns, blades, electric whips, gigantic fists, and even rocket launchers to devastate their opponents. Unfortunately, the Ether tech is still a ways away. The new class will be added in the upcoming 4.5 patch, which hits Korean test servers on July 29th, and will arrive on North American servers after the usual localization process. Surprisingly, some fans are a bit upset with the new addition because they feel it doesn't fit Ion's fantasy theme. Marvel Heroes' latest patch is serving up some new experiences for those who've already saved the world from Doctor Doom. Patch 1.11, which is set to go live this week, is the first in a series of updates coming this summer. The patch is primarily focused on adding new endgame content, including ultimate items, which enhance the hero's ultimate powers, along with new PvP and endgame modes for those looking to continue spreading justice. A new currency called Eternity Splinters is also being added, which will offer players an alternative way to earn playable heroes in-game. Previously, players could earn new heroes outside of purchasing them by collecting hero-specific tokens, which drop from enemies. With the new system, players will be able to collect splinters from downed enemies, which can then be used to purchase a desired hero. These splinters will have a much higher drop rate than tokens and should allow players to slowly unlock desired heroes at a steady pace, instead of sporadically. Speaking of heroes, new heroes starting with the Human Torch will continue to be added, further fleshing out the roster. Later this fall, Gazillion Entertainment will be sending players off-planet to the realm of Asgard, Marvel Heroes' first new zone. Home to famous faces like Thor and Loki, Asgard will present players with a brand new story arc along with even more new modes and endgame content to tackle. More details regarding the expansion are set to be revealed later this year. New details surrounding End of Nations revamp have surfaced, which shed some light on what's actually changed for the RTS turned MOBA. According to End of Nations executive producer Scott Lane, End of Nations hasn't changed as much as it sounds like. Speaking to RTS Guru, Lane went on to say, "We've made the game more hero-focused, and the biggest change would be tactical leveling. A big concern we had previously was that battles and tactics didn't really change because everyone was exactly the same at the beginning and end. The addition of tactical leveling opens up lots of different strategies throughout a battle. Combat is very similar, but faster, and we've made a lot of changes to the UI. We don't feel we drastically changed the game at its core. We brought what we felt were the best parts up to the surface and removed some stuff that wasn't working." Like other MOBAs, a hero unit will be the center point in End of Nations battles. Some of the heroes themselves may be familiar to players who enjoyed the original rendition of End of Nations, as many of the classes have been enhanced to better fit distinct roles. These heroes have the usual 4 abilities like most other MOBAs, but many of their abilities will affect units under a player's control. The retention of control over a separate set of units is key to distinguishing End of Nations from the rest of the predominantly tri-lane-inspired MOBAs. In a separate discussion with PC Game Zen, Lane stressed that while End of Nations may also have heroes and abilities that work similar to other MOBAs, players will get to choose which units to bring into the fight and have full control over them in the battle, allowing for more micromanagement. Adjustments to mods, the removal of elite companies, and the simplification of unit marks are also on the list of changes in store for End of Nations. Players can currently sign up for the closed alpha by visiting endofnations.com. And the game of the week is Firefall. Firefall is a jetpack-infused open-world sci-fi MMO FPS set 200 years in the future. Players take on the role of a surviving member of the human race after a world catastrophe called the Melding has mutated almost all life on Earth. In Firefall, players have full control over their character's aim and can freely switch between a third and first-person camera mode. Firefall features many open-world dynamic events players can pursue, which range from fighting a Melding tornado to defending against a chosen invasion. As players progress further into Firefall, they will push back the Melding and unlock new areas to explore and gigantic enemies to fight. For those who enjoy PvP, Firefall boasts several instance gameplay modes including the recently added Jetball. Classes in Firefall are called Battle Frames. Currently, Firefall features 5 battle frames, each having their own signature weapon type and abilities. Unlike traditional MMOs, Firefall does not feature levels. Players still earn experience, but can choose what to unlock next. As players unlock more of their battle frame's potential, they can access new abilities, upgrade their armor, and even progress to more specialized battle frames. Crafting is one of Firefall's main features and is vital towards progressing a player's battle frame. Players will need to venture out into the world and harvest important resources with machines called thumpers. However, doing so attracts dangerous creatures and will often require full groups of players to protect. These resources can be used in research in order to craft new weapons, armor, vehicles, and even medic stations. So if you're interested in a graphically stunning MMO FPS that's primarily focused on PvE, has unique class progression, dynamic events, and features a deep crafting system, then be sure to check out Firefall. That is going to be all for this week's episode of Free to Play Weekly. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment in the comment section below. And be sure to head over to MMOBomb.com for more free to play action. Until next time, Natsumi out.